I believe all of you are aware of the term Jugaad. What I find truly fascinating about Jugaad, that it is not a single invention. It is a mindset, a way of approaching challenges with creativity and resourcefulness, especially when the resources are limited. In India, this approach has led to countless small-scale inventions that are not just ingenious but also really practical. Take, for example, the farmers in rural India who created these makeshift vehicles that we call Jugaad vehicles by repurposing old water pumps and spare parts. Assembled in a playful trial and error manner, they provide affordable and efficient transportation, which is truly the essence of Indian innovation. You would also find street vendors with makeshift carts that have everything from a stove to solar panel, and which makes it possible for them to operate their businesses in crowded, resource-scarce environments. Be it Mitti-cool refrigerator made entirely out of clay, or a 55-watt solar bulb made with a plastic bottle and a mixture of water and bleach. There are countless such small-scale Jugaad inventions that have gained global attention and are also celebrated as examples of frugal innovation. This reminds us that creativity does not always require unlimited resources. Sometimes all it takes is a bit of ingenuity and the courage to think beyond the box. What I also find fascinating is that children exhibit this same resourcefulness at a very young age. Whether it is making a toy out of discarded materials or coming up with an imaginary game, they are able to see opportunity in the simplest of things, turning limitations into opportunities. Yet, somewhere along the way, Jugaad lost some of the respect it deserved. I wonder, instead of seeing Jugaad as something that is a last-minute job which has been put together with anything and everything available, if we could see it for what it truly is, an example of pure, boundless invention with a whiff of magic. After all, who needs millions in R&D when you have piles of waste material and spares and minds that can see possibilities in the smallest of things? Let me take you to the bustling streets of Kakuma in Kenya, which is also one of the world's largest refugee camps. Life in Kakuma is a daily struggle. While the physical conflict might have been left behind, the psychological and emotional scars remain. In Kakuma, people from almost 8 different African war-torn countries live together, each one of them carrying with them their own stories of pain, loss, and displacement. In Kakuma, conflict can easily arise because of the differences in culture, background, and competition for limited resources. What you also see in Kakuma are men, women, and children, and a life that is challenging yet vibrant. Children running around, people selling their goods, motor vehicles weaving their way through the narrow lanes, and in the middle of all this chaos, a group of children in the age group of 8 to 12 have gathered with a task at hand to design solutions to improve their community. Armed with little more than scrap materials, that includes cardboard boxes, ropes, clay, and some waste material, they're really excited about ideas to help their community. I'm amazed that instead of seeing limitation, they saw opportunity. And in a matter of few hours, they came up with some amazing prototypes, one being a miniature footbridge complete with detail and a makeshift pulley system to help take goods from one part to the other. What I found amazing was not just the practicality of the solutions they came up with, but the spirit behind it. They collaborated with laughter, took pride in each detail, and infused creativity and laughter in everything that they were trying to do. The footbridge was not just a practical solution to a problem of flooding in that region. It was a symbol of hope, of resilience, and of bringing beauty in a place where it is rather scarce. These children, who are growing up in resource-scarce environments, teach us that creativity really knows no bounds, and innovation can thrive in some of the most challenging environments. As I reflected on my experience of working with children in Kakuma, I could not help think about the amazing ability children have to surprise us. It is often easy to think of children as being needed to be taught and guided, but the truth is they also have a lot to teach us, only if we are willing to listen to them. Children just don't think outside the box because for them, there isn't any box until we adults show them one. Their ideas are unfiltered, unfounded by the limitations and assumptions that adults often carry. They see the world as it could be, not as is. And in doing so, they show us the endless possibilities that exist, only if we dare to dream a little bit. As a mother of a 13-year-old, I experience this even in my own home. My child approaches problems with a sense of wonder and curiosity that is really surprising and refreshing. Of course, my adult ego sometimes secretly cringes when he outsmarts me with his ideas. I'm very fortunate that my work gives me an opportunity to work with children in almost 50 different countries. Children from different contexts and backgrounds, rich, poor, migrant, refugee. Earlier this year, I was in Amsterdam and we had a wonderful day of working with children designing solutions on circular economy. In comparison to Kakuma, these children have access to better resources, the schools are well funded, and the opportunity to learn and grow are certainly better. With makeup kits, having scrape materials, having lights and simple set parts, they came up with some amazing solutions and prototypes. From a high-tech waste collector to a multifunctional playground and gym made out of complete waste material, it wasn't just the technology that stood out, it was the motivation behind it. They really care about their environment and they want to protect the world not just for themselves, but for the future generation. Find out the vast differences between children in Kakuma and those in the Netherlands. They share something profound. The ability to think of solutions for their own community. Indeed, innovation is not limited by geography or circumstances. What I also love about my work is that we embrace the Wagner spirit, which means we are all going to make it. It focuses on collaboration, community, and lifting each other up. Imagine a world where every child grows up with this mindset of believing not just in their own potential, but the potential of everyone around them. They will realize that success is not a zero-sum game, but a collective journey where everyone thrives. We do this through Designathon, a 7-step experiential process which is linked thematically to a larger goal like water, poverty, biodiversity loss, citizenship, and much more. The methodology focuses on creativity, collaboration, empathy, and creative problem solving. At the heart of this innovation and creativity is play. Now, unfortunately, play is often dismissed as something trivial because it takes attention away from the serious business of learning. But the truth is that it is through play that some of the most profound learning happens. It is through play that children learn to experiment, they learn to test boundaries, they learn to collaborate, they learn to negotiate, they learn to try and fail and then try again. Why should children be passive recipients of the decisions that we take when they can be co-creators of a shared future? Their energy, their enthusiasm, their willingness to experiment and their natural problem-solving capabilities can fuel any entrepreneurial journey leading to many innovations. And to course all of you future business leaders, embrace this childlike curiosity, for it can help you challenge the status quo, see opportunities where others see obstacles, and to experiment without the fear of failure. Nick Cave, a famous musician, once said, "Beautiful ideas abound. Ideas that swim around us. Ideas that are of immense utility to the world. Our responsibility as adults is to help children believe in those ideas and dreams and give them the platform to experiment with those dreams. Yes, they will find it challenging. Yes, they will fail. But then some of the most accomplished people in this world fail and failed big. But that is how they learn, they grow, and they become so interesting and wise. The solutions that children are working on, be it in the slums of Nairobi or in the refugee camp in Kenya or in the classrooms in Singapore, in Netherlands, in China, or a small school in Meerut in India, is the proof that a new world is in the making, and Jugaad has inspired them. So next time when someone tells you that Jugaad is just a shortcut, remind them that some of the world's greatest inventions were at once improvisations. And there is nothing more respectable and nothing more beautiful than making magic out of nothing. Thank you.